Live from the Mounds Mall Special Events Studios, it's Track Talk on News Talk 1240 WHBU, Fox Sports 1340, and 102.9 in Muncie. Now here's Rick and Gary with everything you need to know about Anderson Speedway and Anderson Speedway's Track Talk.
Good evening. Welcome to Track Talk. Rick Dawson, Gary Morgan, live from the Mounds Mall Special Events Studio on this rainy Tuesday evening.
You know Wade's going to get the last jab in.
Yeah, he is. He does that because he knows he's getting ready to push the button and I can't come back at him.
Right.
We're here for the next 30 minutes to talk about racing at Anderson Speedway and around the area. We had a lot of it this weekend.
We did.
We started out Friday night down at
Raceway
Park in Indianapolis. Great event.
Saw a great finish to a CRA Super Series race.
Yeah, I didn't even know Kyle Busch was racing it until we got down there.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be there, and they were doing a special meet and greet or whatever, but I was surprised to see his car in there. But John Hunter Nemechek, who is Joe Nemechek's son, in the 8 car led pretty much the whole last
half of the race.
And it was a pretty clean race,
yes,
too.
It was.
There wasn't any major contact. There were some spins, but
nothing major.
Pretty smooth race. And Kyle Busch was on his hind end for the last 30 laps or so. I mean, they get in the corners, and I mean, he'd almost raised the car up, but he never hit him, got him sideways or anything until they came around the 4th turn on the last lap.
That's what he got him.
And he went on the inside, and they were fender to fender across the start-finish line, and Kyle just got him maybe by a couple of feet.
Yes, it was a great finish.
And John Hunter said that after the race that he screwed up a little bit going into 3, and Kyle's savvy enough and been around enough to know he's seen it and was able to dive on the inside, but it was a fender rubbing finish.
How old is John Hunter Nemechek? He's just a teenager.
I think he's 15 or 16.
Okay, so he's not very old.
Yeah. So that was a great race. The ARCA race was a little less exciting. It was kind of boring, but a couple of cars, if you got in the lead, you got a half a lap lead, but they had a caution, and I don't know who was in that 25 car, but he must have went through 2 caution lights and was at the end of the straightaway and just T-boned a car that had spun up in turn 2
yes,
while leading the race, so he didn't win.
No, but there was a repeat winner that we had seen at Winchester.
Yes.
Brandon Jones.
Yes.
So that was 2 in a row. I don't know if that was the next race right after Winchester, but anyway, it's 2 for him this season.
2, that wasn't the second one, right, because they were, I believe, in Chicago last week. But beautiful facility down at Raceway Park. Just tough to get a crowd down there for some reason. But it was an okay crowd, but it wasn't packed by any stretch of imagination. It was great to see. Murat Shrine was down there, and they were promoting the Shrine Hospitals. Chris Hacker was down there promoting his project.
Did you get your picture?
Got my picture. He drew me a picture. He's still a kid.
He is.
And so then we came back on Saturday, and we decided to have some races at Anderson Speedway.
We did. And Mother Nature tried to throw a curve at us.
Yeah, the CRA Jegs All-Star Tour was in town. We had 23 race cars
for that.
There. 22 of them started Josh Cave's car, lost the transmission early in practice. But we had 23 cars start, and we got qualifying in. Trent Snyder in the 88 car was fast time. And then we started the race.
I think we got to lap 42.
42.
Yes.
And then the skies let loose. But looking at the radar, a lot of tracks, and this really burnt my hind end Sunday because, the Channel 13 local news that was down at the Speedway all morning, I mean, they don't know beans about racing. They're just there to smile and look pretty and talk goofy.
There's that soapbox.
All they talked about, was the weather, and of course Nicole Masinzik was just beside herself because it was going to rain. And they kept talking about, they only got to get 80 laps in. Well, those people don't go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway and pay all that money, or come to Anderson Speedway and pay that money to see half a race.
That's right.
Now, sometimes it's inevitable and there's nothing you can do about it. And once you get half the feature in, then it's considered a complete show. But as it was, we seen 400 laps at
160 laps.
Or 160
400
laps,
miles.
400 miles at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we seen every lap of feature action advertised at Anderson Speedway. It looked like it came in, and we didn't get the monsoon that it looked like we were going to get, but it just rained steady for about an hour, hour and a half. And I seen the tail end of it, and it looked like there was a chance. So, and it was warm enough, and that helped a lot. We were able to get the track dry, worked hard. Hats off to our track crew who worked their hind ends off. But we got the track dry and got back going somewhere around 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
And had a couple of really good races. We had the CRA Jag Series, a Redbud 300 champion.
I'm going to call him kind of a veteran of Anderson Speedway now.
Loves the racetrack. It's a love-hate relationship for him. He either does really well and wins, or he has troubles. But Steve Dorr from Lakeland, Florida, ended up winning the race. Grant Quinlan from Harrison, Michigan. I don't know Grant. Finished second. J.J. Haley from Winnemac, a young man getting a start in late model racing, finished third. Dalton Armstrong had a good finish.
He did. Had a great run.
And finished fourth. And Dan Leake from Birch Run, Michigan, finished fifth. And Chris Hacker in the 24 car finished sixth. It was a great race. No major incidents. We had a couple of spins. Glenn had pretty much in the drivers' meeting told them about a zero tolerance policy as far as rough driving, which we've pretty much adopted at our track too. And
it seemed to work.
It seemed to work on all but the 128 car, and then I guess the racing gods finally caught up with him on lap 85. But I mean, he took out a couple of cars, and I still don't guess I understand the rules. He got to keep his spot every time.
I don't understand how CRA does that.
He drove that one car clear down the back stretch and sent it sideways through the grass in turn 3. But anyway, he got to keep his spot, but he ended up finishing 14th. We did have 12 cars on the lead lap at the end, and I think we had 13 of them running, so that was pretty good.
I got to watch the race for the very first time from the since Brian was there to flag for CRA, watch it from the turn 4 ramp, and just never realized when they come off that turn 4 how that rear end whips around close to that wall right there. Some of them hit it, some of them don't, but that's why we see all those black marks on that front stretch wall every week. But they're really moving when they come through there. It was surprising.
Then we had the Wing Outlaw Figure 8 Series race, which we added late, just like a month ago. So we knew the car count wasn't going to be super strong, but we knew there would be some cars there and some good cars,
great cars,
that were
great
there
drivers.
to get in tuned up for the 65th National Crown coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
R.J. Norton in the 69 car set fast time, but in the feature, which was a pretty clean feature, there was some crossover action.
A lot of crossover action.
But did it go after the first lap or so? Didn't it go like
we had?
50 laps?
I think it was Sean Cullen had a flat tire and had stopped down at the bottom of turn 3. So once we got him off the track, we went back green after that. I don't know what lap that was. It was early in the race.
3.
And then from that point on, we were green the rest of the way. And what a great battle between Chris Green and Ben Tunney.
It was
a great.
And Chris led the biggest part of the race, and they got behind lap traffic. And Ben, being the veteran he is, I think he used the inside.
Ben used the inside. The car they kind of sandwiched the car they were passing, and Chris went to the outside, and Ben got the better of it.
Ben's comes from a great racing family, but Ben's a great winner, and it's always good to see him at the track. And he supports us well. Ben Tunney won the feature, and Chris Green was second. Michael Hadley was third. Mike Riddle Jr. was back at Anderson Speedway.
He's getting ready for National Crown, he told me.
In fourth place, and Jeff Shackelford, who won, I think,
the first race.
Fourth, didn't he?
No, he won the first race, yes.
Finished in fifth place in a pretty good outlaw figure 8 race, getting ready for the National Crown.
And what was amazing about, after the rain and stuff, we did get the oval dry, but the figure 8 course was still a little damp. It wasn't wet by no means, but it was a little damp. And those guys did a phenomenal job of driving on it, considering the dampness with the type of tires that they run. So hats off. If they can go 50 laps and not have any major issues with that type of situation, that tells you how good of drivers they are.
I understand tire soak doesn't work well when the track is wet.
That's what we found out.
It did affect a couple of the drivers, I'm sure. Not that they so.
Actually, the winner told me, he says, actually, the track he liked it like that on some nights, then nights when it is a dry night. So
a huge thank you to our friends at Edgewater Woods, who raised over $1,200 for Alzheimer's research.
Had our wheelchair races. Those were fun.
Had the wheelchair races in between the races. It was a little late, but we still had them.
We did.
I didn't get to see any of them. I know I heard we had to call the ambulance to the infield. I asked Ed what was going on. He said we literally had one of our wheelchair pushers run out of gas.
Do you know one of the pushers was 70 years old?
Yes, and I heard that she was pretty much class of the field.
She was. And then one of the wheelchairs lost both of its rubber tires, which I'd never seen that happen before. But
they had a lot of time.
Neat.
The individual that we called the ambulance for just needed some air.
Yes.
And he was fine after it was all said
Good.
and done. But it was for a great cause. And also hats off to the Henry County Sheriff's Department for bringing over their canine unit and putting on the demonstration with Jessica in our office. That actually she ended up with a little bruise this time on her arm. I guess where that suit comes together, there's one spot in there that doesn't have the steel mesh, and he got her.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it, but she's always she must like to do that.
I tell you.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
If watching that doesn't make you want to be up and up with the law, then nothing will, because that dog knocked her down in no time flat and wouldn't let go. But she's okay.
Good.
And we had a great time Saturday night despite the weather, so thanks for everyone. We had a good crowd.
We did.
Even considering the weather forecast and everything that the weather people tried to do to us.
And like you said, thanks to our fans and our crowd for sticking with us. We got it in and had a lot of comments saying, man, you guys did the right thing. Kept it going.
We got another great night coming up this Saturday.
We do.
Especially for the kids and for the adults, too. It's Muros Shrine Night at Anderson Speedway. We have 5 big divisions, and we're going to start the night off, of course, after we get done qualifying. At 7:30, we're going to have a parade of shrine units. If you've been to parades, and people know the shrine for both their philanthropic work with the shrine hospitals for the kids, but also for the parade units,
right?
The colorful parade units. Well, they're going to be at Anderson Speedway this Saturday night. At 7:30, we're going to do a parade around the track, so you get a chance to see all these different units, and then learn a little bit more about the shrines. 19 orthopedic hospitals and 3 burn units across North America that we treat patients with kids with orthopedic problems and with burn problems. These are state-of-the-art hospitals. Our local club, Madison County Shrine Club, I believe we've got like 60 to 70 patients from this area that we actually transport to and from the hospitals in Lexington and Chicago and in Cincinnati. And this is all no charge to the patient, which is cool.
Fantastic.
And this is state-of-the-art treatment, so you can't get anything better. The Shrine does. We have a lot of fun, but we do it for a cause,
right?
So that's pretty neat. That's this Saturday night. And on tap on the racetrack is, after the parade, we have the CRA Street Stocks, who have been putting on great shows and bringing a lot of cars this
75-lap feature for them.
And we've also got the front-wheel drives in the oval and figure 8. We have the Indy Fast Karts back in town Saturday night, and our new division, the Pro Compacts, are going to be on the track also. So we got 5 big divisions. The front gates open at 5. We start racing at 8, and the parade is at 7:30. So you want to get there early.
It'll be a lot of fun. And it sounds like the weather's going to be good, around 80 degrees.
Good. Yeah, this is too cold for me. It's too close to
below 70.
It was 51 on my car this morning when I came in. That's like winter.
That's not supposed to happen in July, is it?
No, it's not. We have got some other things to talk about when we come back. More racing action going on, and a couple of folks I want to mention. You're listening to Anderson Speedway's Track Talk. We'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, that's Diggity's back there.
You mean the new Diggity's Frozen Treat Factory?
I heard it's unbelievable. Everybody's talking about it. They have everything yummy.
Yeah, I heard they have ice cream, yogurt, custard, sorbet.
And gelato, plus fruit smoothies, and that's just the beginning.
I heard Diggity's has over 250 toppings, not 30 or 40 like those other places, and you can even get the candy to go separately.
We can eat outside on their huge patio by the fire, too.
Okay, let's see. Frozen yogurt, ice cream, custard, sorbet, and gelato with 250 toppings? Or a plain old frozen yogurt shop with limited toppings?
Diggity's it is!
Diggity's wants to cater your event. Diggity's can set up at your event inside or out and provide delicious smoothies, frozen cappuccinos, candies, and frozen treats to your guests. Diggity's is perfect for weddings, company picnics, group outings, sporting events, festivals, you name it, just call Diggity's. 765-393-0033 today for more information.
Heart attack, stroke, serious injury. A sudden health crisis can happen to anyone at any time. So when bad things happen, choose good people. St. Vincent Anderson Regional Hospital has the area's most advanced emergency care, with a state-designated Level 3 trauma center, an internationally accredited chest pain center for heart attack patients, and advanced certification for primary stroke care. We have all the resources to deliver the care you need for any serious or life-threatening emergency. St. Vincent Anderson Regional is the only emergency department in the area with an on-site helicopter. And our $27 million state-of-the-art surgery pavilion opens later this year. Bad things can happen to anyone. Thankfully, good people are ready to help. Choose emergency care from St. Vincent Anderson Regional, the spirit of caring. Visit stvincent.org/Anderson Regional to learn more.
50 years ago, Tom Raper sold his first camper off a dirt lot in Richmond, Indiana. Since then, Tom Raper RVs has grown to be one of the largest RV dealers in America, selling the top brands at the best prices. That's why folks like you come from all over the Midwest to buy their recreational vehicles from Tom Raper RVs. Why, we reckon we've sold over 100,000 campers since we started. That's a lot of campers. That's a lot of fun. Tom Raper RVs in Richmond or online at tomraper.com.
Great Deal Savings Magazine has been a backer of racing in Anderson Speedway for over 40 years. Great Deal Savings Magazines know the value of racing as a great family venue and know that its fans are the best people in the world. Great Deal Savings Magazines now producing over 40 magazines and serving over 80 cities in the Midwest with the finest in coupon savings through their direct mail marketing of Great Deal Savings Magazines. Mailing nearly 1 million homes each month, Great Deals is leading the way in direct mail marketing. Great Deal Savings Magazine, proud of Anderson Speedway and what it does for the economy and race fans in Anderson and the Midwest. Now branded under the name of Great Deals, Shop Smart Magazine, Lake City Saver, and Gator Saver. Remember the old blue 77 Chevy that your mom and dad had? All those great Saturday mornings of pulling into your nearest Payless supermarket and going in for the weekly shopping, just hoping that your mom would let you get a couple of Snicker bars. Those days are still here at Payless supermarkets, and you are still saving money just like your mom and dad did. You know, back in the day. There's a Payless near you. Just grab one of the kids and take them along so that someday they can have the same memories. Making memories at Payless Supermarket. Proud sponsor of the Payless Little 500.
This program is a presentation by Anderson Speedway. The content contained in this program is that of the host and guests, and not this station.
Okay, Gary, name that tune.
I have no clue.
I know it, but I can't remember it. Oh, that's a Foghat, Fool for the City.
Oh, you had to hear the words, didn't you?
I had to hear somebody talk.
Yeah, I didn't.
I went and seen them in concert probably 30 years ago at the old Coliseum.
Did you have the fog head when you was at the fog head?
I didn't have a fog head. Well, it did when I left.
That's awesome. Okay.
We're back. Anderson Speedway's Track Talk, babbling on about old music.
Yeah. Actually, we're going to see some here in about a week or so.
Yeah, before we go any further, there's a couple of folks that really need our prayers and thoughts. if you come to the track, it's hard to miss the Bright family. Charlie is in charge of the parking lot and the restrooms, and his wife Patty is our front gate ticket taker, and their kids work in various spots. I know one of them helps Joan in the diggity stand. Charlie fell ill Saturday night, and we took him to the hospital. And Charlie's having some really, really significant problems right now, and really, really needs everybody's prayers and thoughts. Right. And Patty and the whole family, they're great folks. A lot of people don't know this, and the whole world should. They won't take a dime for working there. I pay for the services, but they insist that I send the check to a charity, and they usually designate charity. And here this year, it's been to their church, the Park Chapel Church in, I believe it's in Morristown or Greenfield. But Charlie really needs your prayers now, and I'm sure that they'll be answered if enough of us get behind it. And then another good friend of mine who is also in the radio business, and I'm not allowed to say other radio stations on the air, but it's another local station here. Jill O'Malia, her family was hit by a terrible, it's almost unfathomable tragedy, either yesterday or day before yesterday. I'm not even sure when it happened, but you've probably seen the school teacher in Carmel that her former husband came in and shot her in front of the children and family. That was Jill's niece. It's her husband's brother's daughter. And I guess this woman was just the saint of the earth, and everybody thought a lot about it. I mean, you can tell by watching on the TV, but the way this tragedy happened is just those poor kids, having to witness what happened. And fortunately, Dennis's mom was there and got the kids to the neighbor's house, because quite likely they're finding out by some Facebook posts and everything, he probably was there to take care of the whole family. Oh my! When he went in, but he tragically killed his ex-wife and then killed himself afterwards. So I mean, they're living through something that nobody should ever have to go through. So Jill was at Rotary today, and you could visibly, she wasn't Jill, and she's a great lady, and that whole family is. And to Danny and Dennis O'Malia, our thoughts and prayers are definitely with you through this very tough time. And we know you'll come through it, but it's really tough. I just don't know how they can. I just can't imagine what they're going through. And then if you were at Raceway Park Friday night, you might have noticed the emergency vehicles out in the hauler lot. A veteran crew member, and I know this man from years and years of racing, Percy Boma, who is with Brian Campbell's team, fell sick in the parking lot, and they got him revived at Methodist Hospital. And I understand Larry Avery, the chaplain for CRA and also our Speedway, has been with the family, and they're going to run some more tests tomorrow and hopefully have more information on him, and pray for a quick recovery for him. So it's been a pretty tough week, but thoughts and prayers will get you through everything. It will. So, but we're going to have a great race this weekend at Anderson Speedway. Again, it's Muros Shrine Night. I'm a Shriner, and I can tell you it's a lot of fun with these guys. We have, especially I used to be in the Desert Patrol Parade unit here in. Are you going to parade out there? No, I'm not parading. I don't have anything to parade with anymore. Oh, okay. I just thought I'd ask. The potentate and all the folks from Indianapolis are going to be here, and it's going to be a fun night with them. And then we've also got the CRA Street Stocks, the front wheel drive and oval and figure eight. We got the Indy Fast Carts, and we've also got our new Pro Compacts. So it should be a good pit of cars Saturday night. I alluded to this a little earlier, and this is a mini soapbox. So it's your second one of the night. So what was my first one? The Channel 13 deal. Oh, yeah. Duh. I just ignore them anymore. Okay, well, we'll let you have another one here. One of these times, maybe I'll get the chance to meet these folks and be positively critical of what they're doing, and maybe we can get them to understand that it's just because it might rain doesn't mean it's going to be Armageddon and you cancel all your plans. Because as it was, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I just know that although, the stands looked barren.
They did.
I
was there. They were there.
There's still more people there than at most other NASCAR tracks. That place is so huge. So, but I know that the forecast did not help.
No, you're right.
And they got that race in with no problem at all. Although I think they did have storm warnings about a half hour after the race.
Well, as the Blues coming home, we could see them to the west.
And if we'd have listened to the weather people, we wouldn't have raced Saturday night at Anderson Speedway. They did that to me at the end of June,
and we fell for it, didn't we?
Yeah. Ain't gonna happen again. But one of the concerns, and several fans mentioned it to me, and it's something that I have harped on with series, but primarily, and you all know that CRA and all those folks are great friends of mine. They're great friends of yours. They're great friends of Anderson Speedway, and they're a pleasure to work with. But they have a tendency during caution at our track, and they're used to going to bigger tracks, and that's how I dismiss this. But they have to go around 5 or 6 times under caution for what is apparently no reason. Now, they sometimes use the excuse, well, the cars weren't lined up right. Well, they've got receivers that they can talk directly to the drivers. If the drivers don't go in their spot when they tell them, then heck with it. You penalize them if need be on the scoring computer. That's why we've got it. And you go racing. But especially Saturday night, it was a little frustrating. We knew weather was coming in. As it was, it actually worked out fine because I didn't want the fans to see a 51-lap race,
right?
Especially when we had another feature to go. So it actually worked out. But when you're pushing weather and you don't want to race or you don't want to speed up the show any more than you have to because things have a tendency to happen. But they had a couple cautions early, and I'm sitting there under the tower. And I'm about to just go nuts. I mean, we just keep going around and around and around. And I know if I'm feeling that way, my fans are too.
That's right.
I have talked. Daniel's getting better. I think you'll not see that quite as much Saturday night with the street stocks and when they're back with the sportsmen.
Right.
But I've talked to the people until I'm blue in the face. If you want to, and be diplomatic about it, don't be real derogatory, but email Glenn or Daniel or RJ, and you can go to their webpage at cra-racing.com, find their emails, and they like to hear suggestions too, just like I do. Suggest to them that they need to think a little bit more about the fans and less about the driver positions when they go back to green under lengthy cautions, because it's just no fun watching cars go at snail's pace around the track. Sure they would like to hear from you, and I'm sure that they'll listen to you and act on it, but be nice about it.
Yes.
Nothing worse than getting a nasty email to start your Sunday right after you think you've had a great race. Haven't had any of those in a while.
That's good. So. That's good. We've had some good shows this year.
Again, this Saturday night, it's Muros Shrine Night at Anderson Speedway. CRA Street Stocks are in town. Front-wheel drive ovals and figure eights. Indy fast karts and the pro karts are going to be on the track at Anderson Speedway. 7:30 is the Murat Shrine Parade. Gates open at 5, and then we will race at 8 o'clock. How you like them?
And that'll be a lot of racing for 5 divisions.
And
then the week after that, another big show.
The 65th annual National Crown. And we look to have a lot of cars for that. I think so.
We'll talk more about that one next week.
Yeah, you better talk to
Aunt Jenny. Wasn't going to forget you.
You remembered.
Yes.
We appreciate you taking the time with us this evening. We're going to be back here again, same time, same stations, next week. So we look forward to hearing from you. But in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you at Anderson Speedway this Saturday night. Have a great week.